Hey, it's me, Bob33, and this is going to be a short little video on the 2019 games that Nintendo are releasing and how potentially be the Nintendo Switch best year in terms of games and console sales. Before I begin with the actual video, I just want to apologize for not releasing any reviews lately. I've been pretty busy, and the footage you're seeing right here is Donkey Kong. That's a little sneak preview. I'm not going to get too much detail, but hopefully once that video is released, then I hope you enjoyed it. And it's not going to be a basic review in case you're wondering, but you know, enough is on Donkey Kong. Back to the actual topic on hand. Now, Nintendo had the September Direct a few days ago as of this recording. Excuse me, this is obviously unscripted. I apologize for my unprofessionalism. All I have is a couple of key notes here on my notepad, so please bear with me. But as I was saying, Nintendo actually had their September Direct, and they announced some pretty surprising stuff. Well, assuming you didn't read any of the leaks, but the two games I'm focused on is Luigi Mansion and the Animal Crossing game that's being announced for 2019. And I made a list of all the Nintendo Switch games that's coming out in 2019, and two that hasn't have a actual date yet or even a year. There's two of them. That's Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4, but I decided to put them on the list. And right now, I have 8 games from Nintendo themselves, most likely coming out in 2019. That's already 3/4 of the year, 8 out of the 12 months. And assuming that all the games are coming out as planned, or at least in my book, this could be potentially Nintendo's greatest year. I mean, better than 2017 and 2018, which already has some huge games, and right now only one of them has a Mario game. There's no Zelda. There is a Pokemon game on here, which I get to that later. But other than that, it's from franchises that are obviously not as strong as Mario, Zelda, or even Splatoon, but still pretty strong in their own ways. And I just want to go through all of them in the order that I think is going to be released throughout 2019. And see, I just want to show you how, amazing that Nintendo could have, the best year ever. Now, the first game on my list is Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Now, obviously, this is a port of the Wii U game, and if you watch the Direct, it's coming out in January, so that's going to be the first. We're still pretty big. I mean, it'd be bigger if it was a brand new game, but people are still going to buy it. It's still going to It's still going to sell console. Excuse me. Even though the Pokemon and Smash Bros. Games are still going to sell, not only software but hardware as well. But still, having a 2D Mario game to help, increase console sale is obviously a great start for 2019. Then we move on to the second game that's most likely going to come out in March 2019, and that's the Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Now, Fire Emblem is kind of a big game. Again, obviously not as big as Mario and Zelda, but still it's pretty important. People they're kind of looking forward to it, even though they're more focused on Pokemon and Smash at the moment. But still a pretty big game. Most likely coming out in March because Nintendo said it's going to come out in the fiscal year of 2018, which means it's going to be before April. And March would be a good time for it. Will it sell console? Most likely, at the very least, it would keep a steady console sale. That Pokemon, Smash Brothers, and Mario, going to keep that momentum. But still, that is a pretty big game, and again, a pretty big start for 2019. Now let's move on to the next game, Yoshi Crafted World. Most likely going to be released in April 2019. Pretty much the same time Kirby was released, the Kirby Star Allies. Again, not a big game. This is probably the smallest game on the list. And again, that this game's not going to sell console, but I think it's still going to keep a steady flow. But we do get to another big game, and I'm predicting summer 2019, the new Animal Crossing game will come out. Now, this could also be the next big holiday game in winter, most likely in December. But right now, summer makes more sense because that's when kids are out of school. They're going to get a hold of Animal Crossing and enjoy that throughout the summer. Definitely going to push some consoles. And I think it'd be the best time for Animal Crossing. New Leaf sold about 11 million over its lifetime. And that game's going to keep on selling throughout that year, definitely. Now, here's where things going to be a bit confusing because I'm not sure when these games are going to be released exactly. Again, these are just predictions. But number 5 would be Bayonetta 3, somewhere around August or September. I think that's a good release date for it. Even though Bayonetta is getting a bit more popular, especially being announced for Smash, I feel like having it in the holiday would just overshadow it. So I think it'd be better in August or in September where there's not too much competition. And Bayonetta 3 is most likely going to be a big game. Again, this could be also a 2020 game. I wouldn't be surprised. And you know what? It may be better for that game to release in early 2020. But, assuming that it's coming out in 2019, August and September would be the best time for it. October, definitely Luigi Mansion 3, a great game during the Halloween season. And it looks like it's going pretty well from the footage we saw. It looks like it's almost finished. Well, maybe not almost finished, but we definitely saw some gameplay compared to the other announcements that Nintendo has made, especially Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3. I wouldn't be surprised if Luigi Mansion is the big summer game, but it makes more sense in October in my opinion. Now, most likely the November game is going to be the Pokemon Generation 8 game. The I'll just say it out loud, outright. It's going to be the actual Pokemon game that people want. I mean, I'm pretty sure Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Eevee is a nice appetizer that will please the fans and attract new audience. But this Pokemon 2019 game is definitely going to be the real deal. Definitely going to sell a lot of consoles. And definitely going to guarantee Nintendo to win 2019 as well. I mean, I don't really care who wins, what year. Like, I like to support all competition, whether it be PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, or even PC. But Nintendo seems like they're going to have a big year in 2019. And if Pokemon's one of those games, that's pretty much tough competition to beat. I'd be surprised if Xbox or PlayStation be able to match that. And I definitely buy the games if I'm interested in it. But Nintendo seems to be on fire right now, or potentially on fire. And the summer game most likely going to be Metroid Prime 4. Though I can see this coming out in the summer, I think it'd be better for Metroid to come out in the summer, especially if it has online, online multiplayer. Again, this is just assumptions. Uh, it can also come out in August or September. It's really hard to predict a game to come out when they hasn't shown any gameplay footage. I'm surprised they didn't show any of that in this September Direct. But with that being said, a Metroid Prime 4 would definitely be a nice way to close out 2019. So those are the 8 games that will fill up those 12 months. And assuming Nintendo doesn't have anything else big up their sleeve, any big announcement for E3, at least for 2019. Most likely they're going to have an announcement for 2020. But, with the games that's already been announced, that I talked about on this list, that's already a pretty solid year. And I think Nintendo is pretty much hitting home runs recently. Granted, the online service is still questionable. They need to focus on fixing that. But regardless, I think the games, are pretty solid. Like, Wii U had trouble getting out software, even from Nintendo themselves. But now they seem to get better at it. And, with games like these, the Nintendo Switch is definitely going to be very successful. Definitely going to sell. Well, I won't say definitely it's going to sell 100 million units. Only the Nintendo DS, PlayStation 2, and Nintendo Wii were able to do that. I mean, it's not impossible, but then again, new generation of consoles going to be coming out. PlayStation 5 and wherever Xbox going to name their new console. But still, Nintendo Switch is looking pretty well. And hopefully even half of these games should be released, this year with some new announcement here and there. And I'm not sure what they're going to do for 2020. I mean, I guess they could announce a new Zelda game, since that one's been pretty quiet. But again, I'm really excited for 2019. It's like, I think Nintendo is doing great, and right now I'm just stammering and repeating myself. So, I'm gonna end this video by saying this. I'm glad Nintendo has done from the Wii U. I'm glad that even though some of these games are port or maybe even kind of a remake, like I'm glad that Nintendo is improving, even though there's some other areas to improve, like better online, in terms of service, and not using the cell phone to communicate with your friends. But other than that, I think Nintendo's going to do great, by the end of 2018 and all of 2019. So do you agree that Nintendo's going to have a great 2019? Talk about it in the comments below. I make sure to respond. And hopefully you stay tuned for my other videos. This is me, Baba Daddy Dre, and I catch you guys later.